name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is September 2nd, 2025. It is 3:49 a.m. I've been putting a list together for you guys. There is a lot. Majority of the things that I put on my list are things while I was on vacation. Things that I liked, and I just went on my Twitter page to see what I liked and then share them with you. But I didn't really post much on my community board while I was on vacation. So if you go on my community board, the two things that I posted, this was like the day after we got to our destination, and I shared this, and just go on my community board and read it. So that was the first incident. I got drunk, and yeah, and I threw up. Thank God I did, because some of the food that I ate I forced myself to eat because everybody else was hungry except me. And then I drank some Bacardi and Coke, and then I got drunk. This one I posted 10 hours ago when I got back, and I was watching with Love Meghan. I watched 2 episodes, the first one and the second one. Yeah, the first 2 I watched, and I'll be watching some more. And when I was in bed, I went on Twitter and I saw this, and I actually went back on not Twitter, on Instagram. I went on Instagram and I saw this, and I took some screenshots and shared them with you. And I went on Instagram while I was putting things together to show you guys, and I went on her, not as ever, on Meghan's profile. I didn't see it. I know some of you said go on Reels and things like that. I still didn't see it. Okay, everything else but that. Alright, so I don't hang out too much on Instagram. So there it is here. Okay, that's new by accident, because I was searching for it on her profile. I didn't see it, so there it is here. Okay, so why it's not on her thing? Okay, so there's Lily and there's Guy. So this must, I think the first, at least the one that I saw, the 2 episodes, especially the first one, it must have been recorded before Guy passed, because Guy was in the video. There's that, there's this, there's Archie. So they're learning from back. Okay, let's see here. Okay, you could pause and read that. It's very blurry to me right now with Love Meghan playlist. So these are some of the music. Alright, so these are other squaddy who's posting things. Alright, so back on, okay, this I have it on the list. This has to do a bit with political. Let's get started, okay? The other thing I was gonna say regarding my what I posted, this is another thing that I posted 6 hours ago. Go on my community board and read it. It's regarding tipping, in terms of what I leave at the hotel room for the maids and stuff like that. So I got a little bit, when I saw the envelope, you know, what I usually do when I go to a hotel or any place that I'm staying, the moment I walk in, I record myself coming in. And then when I'm leaving, you know, to make sure I leave the place really nice so I don't hear anything later on. And also, because that happened to me before, if we misplace something or we forgot something, and we could look back at the video to see if by any chance I left something there. Okay, because I think it was last year when we went camping, we were looking for something and we couldn't find it. We looked through our videos. It was not in the video, but it helps to ease our mind that we didn't leave it over there. Okay, so that's another thing. And also to make sure we leave the place exactly the way that we saw it, without any damage, so later on we don't hear anything that we did something or we left the place damaged. So we could say, look, when we left, this is the way we left it. So one of the things I usually do is leave some cash, sometimes $40, sometimes $20, whatever we feel like leaving for the cleaning crew. But that got me a little bit upset when I saw the envelope asking for them asking us to leave some tip for the crew. I don't want them, the hotel, to demand. I don't know if it was demand. I would say suggestion. Okay, the hotel should not have any say, zero, absolutely zero say on leaving tip for the cleaning crew. Okay, when families are going on vacation, you might see them, with the nicest car, whatever it may be. You might think they have money, but many families have to save months end to make sure they go someplace away from their home, just to have a nice little getaway with their family. Not everybody can afford to leave tips for anybody, especially at the hotel. And this is why I'm really for the increase of minimum wage. But if out of your heart you feel like leaving the tip for the cleaning crew, that's up to you. But for the hotel to suggest it, I was a little bit upset about it. My husband was brushing it off. I was like, no. The hotel should focus on paying the cleaning crew their wages. This is their job. After that, that's it. And it's not like the hotels are free or cheap, I should say. We have to pay to stay there. But anyway, that's a different story. I explain everything here. You could go and read it and whatnot. So, alright, so there's that I posted. Let's go on Twitter. The first tweet. Let me grab the link. I was gonna go on my likes and go down the list, and I was like, you know what? Let me just set it up. Okay. So why did I post this first? We might see this again if I record it. There's a list that I put for Princess Diana's anniversary of her death. So that was from there. There was something that they say here. All right, it was from this. Thinking of Prince Harry today on what must be one of the hardest days of his life today. Continue to rest in peace. The people's princess, the Princess of Heart, Princess Diana, your legacy will continue to live on through your son, who keeps your memory alive through his endeavors and have a heart for the people like you did. Oh, how you will be so proud of him. 28 years gone, but never forgotten. Wow, 28 years. That's really fast. That's really fast. Because I still remember when I heard of the accident. I remember watching a tennis match. I think it was Serena who was playing at the US Open. I don't know who she was playing with. And then the day was beautiful, sunny, blue sky. It's almost like the same day during 9/11 when the plane crashed on the World Trade Center. That day was so calm, blue sky, so calm. Same type of feeling. Okay, and yeah, but anyway, but this is the thing that I post. Maybe if I read this, I'll remember why I shared this here. Otherwise, it would have been on the group of tweets about Princess Diana. Let's see here. London Underground today. Service information, date for Princess Diana. Time inspired by quotes from the Queen of our hearts. Okay, carry out a random act of kindness. One day someone might do the same for you. If you find someone to love in life, hang on them. Only do what your heart tells you to do. Oh, maybe that was that regarding the hotel. Only do what your heart tells you to do is that sentence. All right, when I leave the tip at the hotel room is because this is what I feel like giving. I think that was why. Okay, every person in this world needs to feel valued and loved. Every one of us can give something back. Kindness, love, and affection can help to ease any journey. Show how much we care and not focus on what we lack. Understand other people's stress, emotion, and insecurities. When we are happy, we can learn how to forgive. Hug can do so much good, especially for children. May your spirit be free. And how you choose to live. Okay, so that's that, and how you choose to live. All right, so it was this sentence here: only do what your heart tells you to do. All right, so when we leave some cash at the hotel room, is because this is what we feel like giving. When did we start doing that? We went to Maine a while back. Well, that was before my second son was born. And that's when we started leaving some cash. And there are times we look for the maid, the cleaning person, and we give it right, and and hands on. We give the tip to them, because sometimes even the one we left this morning, well, yesterday, I don't even know if the cleaning crew are the one who's gonna get it. Sometimes I would assume, okay. Because there are some people who's really greedy. The hotel manager or something, when they know someone is gonna check out, or they check out, they will go in the room first and grab the money. I don't know. So them leaving the envelope suggesting we leave money for the cleaning crew, it pisses me off. They should not have a say on that. But anyway, let's go to the next tweet. So pretty much I shared this because of this sentence: only do what your heart tells you to do. I remember when I was reading it the first time, and I thought about, this is what I felt like leaving at the hotel room for the cleaning crew. And the other thing as well, seeing this, I don't know when it was posted on the underground, if it was during Princess Diana's anniversary. I wonder if Charles is aware of this. All right, let's go to the next tweet, because he's very jealous of anything positive about Princess Diana. All right, so that's this one here. He never forgot his mother through it all. He knew this fight was bigger than him. To get an admission of guilt and an apology, not just for him but for Princess Diana, is beyond words. He did it. Prince Harry versus Jane. Okay, so when I saw this, I put it, when did they post it? It popped up on my community board. I mean, not community board, on my timeline. And I put it, and I thought of, okay, Princess Diana, someone must have retweeted it again. And that's me, August 31st. That's when I responded to it. Let me read what I put, and then you know what? Let's listen to the video first.
Can't think what my mum went through all those years ago by herself.
Mm-hmm.
To see this institutional gaslighting that happens is extraordinary. And that's why everything that's happened to us was always going to happen to us. Because if you speak truth to power, that's how they respond.
So this is my response here. My response must have something to do with the Santa Bali thing, because when Harry was leaving to go meet Meghan in Canada, one part of his speech he said this was much bigger than just us. Okay, he knew the machine, the system that was behind him, and not only that, he grew up in it. He understand it. All right, yep. He did say this was bigger than just us, Harry and Meghan, at the Santa Bali event when he was leaving the UK to go to Canada to join Meghan and Archie. He was aware of the machine that he was dealing with after them was destroying society. Everything that happened globally, they knew it would be there's more continue here. It will be a matter of time for the rest of the world to see what he was seeing. They are waiting for us to catch up with the machine that's destroying society. Okay, Harry and Meghan, that's what I mean by they, waiting for us, the world, the rest of the world, to see what they saw. the newspapers, the medias, all of those that literally went after them. Okay? So this is why they couldn't deal with them by themselves. This is why he had to choose how he moved forward in suing the papers. So when you hear people say, oh, go sue, he knows what he's dealing with. So until he has a concrete evidence, and some of the things that he used when he sued the papers, actually there's another one that's coming next year, and I think that will be the last one. It was like, it seems like it was, he was gathering information, okay, until he gets enough information to sue them. And this is why, I believe, where did I hear this? Could have been on the docuseries where when he was gonna sue the paper, and they told him to not put certain people's name on it, on the documents or something like that, and they wanted to see his evidence, and I don't think he shared it. Some of you who know, I should have known, okay, because I covered this, but right now it's a bit blurry to me, because I cover this type of things very distinctly. You could go to some of my old videos, or maybe I have some screenshots somewhere, where they wanted to see his evidence about the papers, and I don't think he shared it. And they were pissed at him for daring to call the papers to court or something. I might mix up certain different issues. He went through a lot where he thought that his family would have been protecting him, when in fact they were plotting against him. They actually the men in gray suit, the palace, actually protecting the workers more than they protect him. Can you imagine this? So all of the thing that he went through is like a wake-up call. Okay, he's been dealing with the machine pretty much by himself since his mom left. They finished with his mom and they went after him. They didn't care if he was a young boy, a 12-year-old or whatever. They went after him. So now that he's older and he's a man, he has his own family, and now they were transferring that same nonsense to him. I mean, he knows how to block the craziness and how to remain focused. I really don't know how he survived over there, to tell you the truth. But once the machine, the system was shifting from him to his wife, and you would know that if his family were to stay in the UK, that will also apply to his kids. So this is where he put the line. I mean, he's been saying it over and over, way before Meghan came into the picture, about the private life and the public life and all of that.
Chance my arm with a cheeky question. A bit like your mother, you are pursued every minute of every day by lots of people trying to take photographs, videoing, recording what you're saying, pushing. How can you possibly have a private life?
Cheeky question. You're right, that is a cheeky question. But Andrew, to be honest with you, sadly, that line between public and private life is almost non-existent anymore, and we will continue to do our best to ensure that there is the line. You know, we are completely aware that we're in a very privileged position, and I will spend the rest of my life you know, earning that privilege and trying to bring a spotlight onto things and causes that really matter to me, and I hopefully matter to a lot of other people as well. Everyone has a right to their privacy, and you know, a lot of the members of the public get it, but sadly in some areas there is this sort of incessant need to find out every little bit of detail about what goes on behind the scenes. It's unnecessary. You know, I hope that people get to see me here in this Invictus role, you know, cracking on with the guys and mucking in and having a good time with them. And this is half my official role, but half my private role. This is what I enjoy doing. But the private life has to be private, and I hope people respect that.
Before Meghan came into the picture about the private life and the public life and all of that, but they refused to listen to him. Okay, so this is the machine that he was, well, did he say machine? when he said this is much bigger than just us.
The decision that I have made for my wife and I to step back is not one I made lightly. It was so many months of talks after so many years of challenges. And I know I haven't always gotten it right, but as far as this goes, there really was no other option. What I want to make clear is we're not walking away, and we certainly aren't walking away from you. Our hope was to continue serving the Queen, the Commonwealth, and my military associations, but without public funding. Unfortunately, that wasn't possible. I've accepted this, knowing that it doesn't change who I am or how committed I am. But I hope that helps you understand what it had come to, that I would step my family back from all I have ever known, to take a step forward into what I hope can be a more peaceful life. I was born into this life, and it is a great honour to serve my country and the Queen. When I lost my mum 23 years ago, you took me under your wing. You looked out for me for so long, but the media is a powerful force. And my hope is one day our collective support for each other can be more powerful, because this is so much bigger than just us.
But I think it's me who put my own word machine. All right, the system, the media, you name it, men in gray suit, all of them. All right, you see how they pretty much, when you look in the US, people you voted for are paralyzed to do what is right. So that machine is shifting onto those politicians. The thing is that if some of you been listening to some of my videos way before, my 200 will understand what I'm talking about. Okay, when I talk about what's that movie? It's a cartoon, animated. Angry Bird. Okay, there's a part where I don't know which one or two or three. I don't know how many Angry Bird they have, where the bad guy was partying with the other birds, and meanwhile, while the bad guy was partying with the birds, he sent his crews, okay, foot soldiers, to go steal the birds' eggs. So when I saw what was happening politically in our environment, that's the first thing that came to me. They were partying with those politicians, business people, you name it, having good time. They're laughing in front of you. Meanwhile, they were framing them. That's the egg. They were framing them because they knew in the long run what their objective was, in order for them, the bad guys, to do what they want to do, let's say Palestine, for instance, or perhaps maybe what's going on in Africa. Some of you are saying, why don't I talk about Africa, this and that? The same way you're telling me, why don't I talk about it? Why don't you talk about it? Okay, I can only talk about what I'm aware of and things like that. But anyway, that's a different story. So while they were partying, laughing with you, drinking with you, bringing underage to do things with you, your moral, your integrity during these times, this is what should be your first defense. Use your integrity, your moral, to say, I'm not gonna do this, or I'm with my wife. Not, I'm sure your wife will not be in that situation. Maybe they are. I don't know. Some of those white women tends to do some immoral things as well. So I don't know. But your moral, your integrity should have been optimal at the moment. Okay? And so many things is happening. I think I have it on the list where I think it's in the UK. This guy who did something, and let me bring it up. Okay. Let me finish this. It's two different things that popping up, but they paralyzed those politicians, frame them, and then now they're going worldwide to destroy other societies, people at peace. The thing that I'm seeing going on in the Middle East with the Palestinians, my God, I don't know. I really don't know. If these people could do that to them, don't be surprised. They will easily do that to you in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. They don't care. This is pure evil that is happening right now. And it seems like a little bit at a time, Americans are starting to understand, because now they are being affected by the things that Trump is doing, pretty much, even though Trump did say what he was gonna do. But let me finish with this, and then I'm gonna show this I have on the list about someone who did something to a 12-year-old. Okay, this is the BS that they want to normalize the abuse of other people. These are pure evil savages. And all right, let me finish with that. Where was I here? Everything that is happening globally, they knew it would be a matter of time for the rest of the world to see what he was seeing. They're waiting for us to catch up with the machine that's destroying society. They, meaning Harry and Meghan, okay, are waiting for the rest of the world. Me, you, well, I think I seen it. I don't know if I'm seeing exactly what they seeing, Harry and Meghan, but I think I see what they seeing. But the other people, the blind, people who refuse to see reality, these are the people they're waiting for. Okay? So that's that. Well done, Harry, well done. And he had Meghan by his side. Yeah, that is true. Alright, so I'm gonna skip some stuff here. I'll come back to the list. There's a part with this guy who's talking, not this guy, a tweet that has to do with this guy who did some stuff with a 12-year-old. And this is why, I'm telling you, YouTube is part of the problem as well. YouTube is part of the problem as well, because they knew what was going to happen in the Middle East, and people were filming it, and they didn't want people like me to talk about it. Okay? Alright, so there's this here. Remember, at these far right riots outside Asylum hotels, supposedly to protect our women and children, the most likely sexual offenders are the ones outside, not inside. Alright, jail. This person here, Watherham Wilder, gave STD to a 12-year-old girl he abused at Whitfield Flat. When I saw this took a while before it could get out of my mind. Even at moment, you know, you're thinking, the things that God gave us to be able to reproduce, and something that should be pleasurable, these people are using it and abuse it at other people's against their will. This young, whoever the person, that 12-year-old he abused, is ruined for life. Is ruined for life. Is it AIDS that he gave? Or is it something else that can be controlled or managed other than AIDS? Because if it's AIDS, well, I don't know much about all the other sexual transmitted diseases, how it is managed, but AIDS is like the top one where you need to be on medication for the rest of your life. For these monsters, they know they have it, but they don't use protect. I don't know what to say. Alright, so that's that. That's what came to mind as I was saying something else in my other thing with Harry and Meghan thing. These, you know, when you give consent, alright, when two people are doing that with consent, this is something that should be pleasurable. But these monsters are using it as a weapon for their own pleasure. I don't know. I really don't know. Alright, so there's this here. I'm back on my list again. Prince Harry was asked what he missed about the UK. Answer, the British countryside. Meghan Sussex was asked what she missed about the UK. Answer, Magic FM radio station. This is so cute. Alright, let's pause. The squad. What did Meghan Sussex say she missed the most in the UK? And Sir Magic FM radio station. They're just laughing. That's like a GIF. People are laughing. Her answer was Chef Kiss Baby. That's the laugh here. Then Q, Lisa Stanfield, All Around the World, pointing here. I hollered and danced and sang when I heard that song. That's the laugh here. I mean, the squad are just laughing. That must hurt the leftovers. They said a lot about that racist family. They were asked and they answered, look how cute they are and you can stream magic. They said what they said. There's the laugh here. She's American. Alright, let's go to the next one. Fab 4 on stage, and I think I have it twice. I don't know why. Maybe different responses or retweets. Okay, I bookmarked mine. So the Fab 4. Alright, laughing my ass off. I respond to this person here. They had to stop that shit. Oh, this is someone I respond to and I could not responded under her thing and I retweeted it. I think that's what I did. Okay, let's see here. Laughing my ass off and I tagged the person. They had to stop that shit really quick. Dr. Jill was like, oh, so fast. She had so many topics to discuss, but they only wanted to capture the pictures. That's where they asked Kate about meeting Lily. It was a disaster. Important meeting, but zero achievement. Somebody respond, KKK is a domestic wife that can't even get into convo because of her speaking issues. They should never brought her to event like this. I'm 100% sure they hired best professor for her before this. Unfortunately for them, the woman just want to dress up and take pictures, so she fell. So this is the event here. I took a screenshot. I think where was I? At the hotel when I saw that. I have the video somewhere, but I don't know if I'll play it.
I think the transformation of perinatal mental health services and infant mental health services in this country actually feeds into that wide, the universal agenda. So,
exactly.
It's very different today compared to 30 years ago, 25 years ago, when I think back. But it is that integration piece, parents, at the table as the most important, but with health and social care and the early years education, but everybody together. So I think it's combined. We need to bring that together.
I've heard that there are you have both quite a busy day, and I'm under strict instructions, so I feel like we could carry on talking about this for a long time, and it's been a really lovely discussion, but I'm afraid we're going to need to close in a few moments.
I have a million questions written down.
Well, I tell you what,
I have to give you a call.
You're most welcome to come to Felton, but we'd love to hear any closing remarks you have, any closing reflections.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm sorry it's so short. That's my first comment, because there's so much we need to talk about and to dialogue about, and so I just don't know where to begin. But as an educator myself, so much of what you're saying has certainly touched my life, in that I taught in a psychiatric hospital for 5 years, and so I see, I've seen the, what the children's environment and what, if it's negative, the effects that has. And I saw that with all the children that I saw in that psychiatric hospital and the problems that they were dealing with. And I have to say, I love that you're educating dads and fathers, because it's been so long that for the longest time it was always the mother, right, who was doing the caregiving. But I think one of the positive parts of this pandemic is that now we've seen both the parents, because they've both been home, and the fathers are saying, hey, this is hard work, and they've pitched in. Yeah. And I know things are changing from, when our kids were little, but I think that the pandemic has also had a positive effect in that I think teachers are now working more closely with parents, because that relationship had to open up, right? Because there were so many areas where teachers were helping parents and parents were helping teachers. And so it's just such a fascinating discussion, but I think we're moving in the right direction. And I also wanted to ask about food security. I had so many things that I wanted to ask about, but I guess I'll have to just come back.
Definitely will. Your Royal Highness, any closing reflections?
I'm the same. I could talk about it for a very long time, and it's so lovely to see so many familiar faces. But just to pick on, I suppose, what's been discussed a bit about the importance of parenthood, and a bit about, I suppose, my own journey into looking into the importance of early childhood development, and just touching back on the conversations around supporting parents. I'm really interested about how could we best prepare the next generation to become parents themselves. So actually the focus isn't sort of on parenting itself, but actually how can we give them the tools so that they're having their babies and raising their children with these greater tools. And I think that's something that education all the way through the system, I think, would be really really powerful. But in terms of my own journey, yes, it's been about prevention, and I've really started looking into this work to see what we could do to help prevent some of today's toughest social challenges, whether that's addiction, poor mental health, violence and things like that in the home. And I suppose I've heard time and time again from the likes of Eamon, from parents, from practitioners, I like just how important the first 5 years of life are for future life outcomes. I suppose in listening to everybody, that's why this was for me really important. That was to have this place where we can all come together, whether it's parents or neuroscientists or academics or those working with parents themselves, but just to really raise the importance of the first 5 years, because I really do feel the best investment for our future health and happiness lies in the first 5 years of life. But Ed, to your point, only by working, and I think Eamon, you referenced it too, only by working together in a holistic way are we going to be able to achieve that. It is the healthcare, it is the education system, it is working to translate the science for the parents, to make it accessible and usable, and making sure parents' mental health is best supported and all those around children, and raising the next generation today. But ultimately, my hope is that we change the way we think about early childhood, really for generations to come, and I'm committed to this for the long term, and I hope our two countries can keep sharing data, knowledge and best practice for many years to come. But thank you for your interest today.
I'm sure we will. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for your interest.
Well, look, thank you so much. And I have to say, on a personal level, about 4 years ago, we sat down at my school and we had a conversation about thinking about our pupils as the parents of tomorrow. And that was really transformative for us. So what you just said really resonates. A huge thank you for your time. Thank you so much to colleagues. We hope that one day we might meet you in person. It feels like a long way off. And thank you so much, Dr. Biden, for joining us.
Thank you.
We look forward to this being the start of the conversation, and we're going to now move to some group photographs, I think.
Okay.
Thank you.
Here.
Your Royal Highness, do you have any wishes for your new niece, Lilibet?
Oh, I wish her all the very best. I can't wait to meet her because we haven't yet met her yet. So hopefully that will be soon.
Have you FaceTimed her?
No, I haven't. No.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Straight back.
Alright, so this is the tweet here. This event was the first time I heard Kate Middleton is a racist speak. 10 seconds and I realized 1, she wasn't articulate. 2, she didn't know what the hell she was talking about. This was also the last time I heard her speak because it would be demented to watch her again. Okay, so this is me here respond. Okay, this is the next tweet that I bookmarked. Alright, that's where everything started, or at least the devil's radar came up, especially when Meghan said women had a voice, they need to use it, and men need to encourage. Something like that. Here's the video of where Meghan said that.
Touched on it before. It's well known, you've championed the empowerment of women and young girls and promoting their self-worth. How do you hope to continue that work with the Royal Foundation?
Yes, I mean, I think that knowing that I've just been here for 3 months, right? And in that amount of time, but with that said, for me, it's very important to, once you hit the ground running, even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far, is meeting with the right people, meeting with the right organizations behind the scenes quietly, learning as much as I can so that I can maximize the opportunity we have here to really make an impact. I think what's interesting is I hear a lot of people saying when speaking about girls' empowerment, finding and knowing their worth, or women's empowerment as well, you'll often hear people say, well, you're helping women find their voices. And I fundamentally disagree with that, because women don't need to find a voice. They have a voice, they need to feel empowered to use it, and people need to be encouraged to listen. And I think right now in the climate that we're seeing with so many campaigns, I mean, with Me Too and Time's Up, there is no better time than to really continue to shine a light on women feeling empowered and people really helping to support them, men included in that. I mean, it makes such a tremendous difference. So, yeah, just I guess we wait a couple months and then we can hit the ground running. But up until then, I'm pretty excited.
So I knew this was it. There's a part where William grunted his voice.
Yeah, just I guess we wait a couple months and then we can hit the ground running. But up until then, I'm pretty excited.
He looked uncomfortable since someone responded. Okay, and she still hasn't used or improved it, I guess, her speech. All right, so that's that. There was a time I remember where the Sussexes, Harry and Meghan, were not really putting anything out there, and I wanted to do a review on it. And the next thing I know, the squad came up with different things to discuss, and I left that alone. I even discouraged Harry about that, because I think he said it was one of the trip that they did, and I was like, no, this is where it started, on that stage, because of what Meghan said on that stage, and it raised their radar. Either this is where it started, or their radar came up and they had to think of something to stop Meghan from being her best self over there. Next tweet.
Vaca. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together. The because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.